Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madera Street. Accessories provided by Chevette Williamson Jewelry. Standout jewelry for standout women. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm, and as always, it's a pleasure to be in your company today. Thank you so much for tuning in and making GPS a part of your afternoon routine. Today is Friday, so you know what that means. It's a TGIF Open Line show where you, my listening and viewing audience, are also my co-host, and you help to direct the way that the show goes by way of calling in or commenting and making your voices heard. How do you do that? Simple. Telephone numbers to call 326-0271, 326-0271, or 326-0272. 326-0272. The WhatsApp line is 801-0271, 801-0271. You can call or text us on WhatsApp. We are also streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM Facebook pages. We're streaming live on YouTube, on Global and my official channels. And you can get us on Cable Bahamas Channel 974. Cable Bahamas Channel 974. Now, this particular call is ain't waiting. I just finished the intro and I already have a caller. Good stuff. Caller, welcome to GPS.
That's just how popular you are, Michelle.
Man, you're making me feel special. What you saying, JT?
I bless you, thank God for life.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I did try locating your YouTube page.
Uh-huh.
And your name popped up in several instances, but I couldn't find the actual channel to log onto the show live.
Okay. I got to search and see if something is going on with that.
No, it's not that it's not there. It's just that I'm not sure what search term do I really type?
Michelle Malcolm? Yeah.
Okay. Several of those, like I said, different files or programs or whatever pops up. So I'm not YouTube savvy like that.
Okay.
So that's probably my problem.
All right.
Michelle, I'm calling to you today as a Bahamian who is sad. As a Bahamian.
Mm-hmm.
Sad because the wonderful being that we've all known over the last 50, 60 years as being Bahamian is dying out.
Mm-hmm.
Dying out. I had occasion to speak with someone yesterday, and it saddens me to know that this particular person, when they will have left the public service, will also be leaving the Bahamas.
Mm.
And they're leaving home because home is no longer nice to them. They're not being respected in their country as a professional. They're not being given the opportunity to contribute in a quality way that they are naturally gifted to and trained, qualified to. So they feel as though they can be more appreciated in somebody else's country. That saddens me.
Yeah.
As a country that we are now turning 50 years old on July 10th of this year, this is not where we ought to be. As a matter of fact, I would have liked to have seen it where Bahamians would have been running back home at this point in time of our history rather than running away from home. Some weeks ago, I did mention to you that Paulette Zonical, when she was the Consular General in Miami, had mentioned the fact at that time that according to her data, there were more than 100,000 Bahamians living in other countries. Just to interrupt my thought here for a minute, have you seen the findings from the latest census, national census, population
No,
count? Okay, well, boy, that don't seem to be out there anywhere because I can't find it either.
I don't know if that it's been released yet,
So
but I'm not sure.
let's assume then between 2010, which is the last known figures, which was for the population of the Bahamas, 351 plus thousand, and 12 years later, which is today or last year when the census was done, that's 12 years. Let's assume that our population has grown, say, up to legally now by 100,000 or up to 450,000, let's say. Michelle, 100 plus thousand Bahamians in other people's country is approximately 20 to 25% of our country's people if we add those who are here and those who are abroad.
Right.
That's 20 to 25% of our population. Bahamians who left home because for many reasons, but in many instances because they don't like home. Not that they don't want to be home, but they don't like home because home no longer likes them. And one of the concerns that was shared with me by this particular individual was that a lot of the things that they are experiencing is simply based on insecurity and petty jealousies, where persons around them are frustrating them because those persons might feel insecure that their jobs are going to be taken from them,
right,
etc., etc. But Michelle, I mean, ought not a country to be planning always to have what they call it succession planning, always to have the future generation being prepared to take the place of the current generation?
You would think.
Yeah, you would, eh? Only a mature and a sensible nation of people operate that way because no generation of employee, no generation of people lasts forever. And if we don't prepare ourselves for Bahamians to genuinely and honestly and sincerely fill the gaps in our human capital needs, another 10, 15, 20 years, however long it might be, the Bahamas you and I know will be no more.
Well, this one already looks kind of foreign to me.
Boy.
From the Bahamas I used to know.
Michelle, but you know, you and I were born in the same year, so when I hear you say that, I cringe because I know what the Bahamas like then.
It's the truth, though.
Unfortunately, you're right, Michelle, because I grew up in Coconut Grove, the Black Grove, as some call it. Michelle, when growing up, you felt Bahamian, you felt Bahamas, you felt culture, you felt us. Now walking and driving through those areas, they honest to God feel strange. The soul, the heart of this country has been ripped out.
Yeah, but we stand by and we allow it to happen.
Many of us are causing it to happen. Because, Michelle, see, You remember in the day when over the hill, when you used to hear about over the hill, that used to be, at least for me, I used to look forward to that, to what that meant, because that meant Juju Plum, the Nap, Tamarind, Almond, you name it. Mommy supporter, mommy, you name it. Living off of the soil, being your neighbor, being your brother's keeper, neighbors living healthy and wholesomely like neighbors, working with each other, helping one another. All of them things I used to remember. When I hear over the hill, it brings me back to experiences like them. But it's only in my mind now. Because, as I just mentioned, when you drive through these areas that day, honest to God, feels
I think it can all be boiled down to something very simple,
What's that?
a lack of vision.
I didn't get that.
A lack of vision.
Yes.
The Bible tells you very clearly.
Yeah.
My people perish for lack of knowledge. Right?
Yeah.
And if you don't have a vision for where you want to see this country go, one thing I have to say about the late Sir Lyndon Pinling, love him, hate him, or in between, he clearly came in with a vision. Now, I think for the first 10, 15 years of his leadership, I think they did a quite a yeoman's job in laying out the foundation for this Bahamas. I think in the later years, the man was not perfect. They lost their way. He was not perfect, as no one is. But I dare say that we are suffering from a lack of vision. The Bible also talks about write the vision and make it plain, so that he who sees it can run with it. The challenge is when you don't have a clear-cut vision for where you want to go, any road will take you there.
Yeah.
Because you don't know where the hell you're going. So wherever the wind blows, that's the direction you're heading in.
Just like a boat without a rudder.
Exactly. And, when another translation for, talking about where there's no vision, whether my people perish for lack of knowledge. Another translation is casting off restraint. And when we look at what is happening in our country today, that's exactly what we see happening.
Moral restraints are being thrown away.
Gone.
Yeah.
Casting off of the restraints. We're living in, for many, and for all intents and purposes, I'm not saying that every Bahamian is a lawbreaker or every Bahamian is corrupt. I'm not saying that.
Because not all of us are.
No. But
far too many
we sit by and we allow, more often than not, those who are corrupt, we put them in positions that they say they go to stamp out the law, and they break in the law, the very laws, but they say they go on to stamp out lawlessness, and they're the ones who break in the law.
Boy, you remember the saying when we were growing up, lawmakers are the lawbreakers?
But we have to take some collective responsibility.
Well, of course, Michelle, yeah.
Because we are very good at standing back in the shadows and complaining. But when it comes time to step out into the light and say, no, enough is enough, you could count on one, maybe two hands, those who are brave enough and willing to step out.
Michelle, I can identify two spirits that's been ruling the Bahamas over the last number of years as to why a lot of Bahamians don't step up. And they have a problem with a Lincoln Bay in doing so because they're so unused to or unfamiliar with it. Those two spirits are cowardism, being a coward, to put it plain, and fear. A lot of Bahamians are rightly afraid of rocking the boat because if they do so, they will lose their livelihoods.
It's more of us than them.
But Michelle, you know that. I know that. But what is it going to take for the masses to really realize that the power is in all of us? You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
Michelle, our country's national motto says forward, upward, onward, together. We've gone somewhat forward. We've gone upward somewhat. Forward, up, onward. We've moved onward from where we used to be 50 years ago, and it ain't necessarily good either. But have we really gone in any of those ways of goodness, really and truly, together as a people? One time ago, we used to be that way. I hate having to always be referring to the used to be isms, Michelle.
Mm.
But how can we not always look back at the good things and the good experiences we used to have one time ago? When we are constantly faced with the degradation, the erosion of values, and everybody will bring immorality in a country that was built on, at least in the masses for the most part, built on godliness, i.e., morality.
You know what I find interesting?
Mm.
The woke movement don't have no problem coming against the Christian church and Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
No problem.
No problem at all.
For, what we say we believe and who we believe in.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think they would dare go to any Muslim country talking that.
They wouldn't.
Why?
They'd be severely and swiftly dealt with in a very harsh way.
But because the Christian church has become so weak,
weak and silent,
they believe that they could dictate to us how we serve our God. Why you don't go one Muslim country and tell them how to serve theirs?
The Christian,
it never happened.
Church, right now, this country became a blessed country over the years because of godly men and women who stood up for what was right. But ever since Pastor Miles died several years ago, I cannot remember, and I stand to be corrected, but I can't remember hearing any Christian leader speaking out against ungodliness in this country. Of course, Reverend Sanders used to do so many years ago in the Baptist Church. I forgot the name of the bishop in the Anglican Church who used to speak out a lot. Many, I think, might have been Father Bolek, I think, but I started to be corrected there too. But the long and short of it is, we do not have the backbone in the Christian community anymore, standing up and being counted today like it used to be years ago. But all of these things are indications of the end time, though, Michelle. Because every single thing that's happening in this world today, the Bible predicts it. Every single thing. But to get back to something else, Michelle, you have, I came across an article in the Tribune and in the Guardian making reference to the Chinese being embarrassed over the state of our national stadium that they donated to us, and now the government is allowing them, for what I saw, to refurbish the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Michelle, when are we going to take pride in us and in the things that we got? No matter who gave them to us, when are we going to take pride in maintaining us?
Man, JD, you're talking to hear yourself, man.
Michelle, see, let me tell you why I got asked that question, because in some instances I speak into me too. Because JD got faults and problems just like everybody else. But Michelle, I mean, when I saw that, I said, oh my God, no, I was embarrassed. It was given to us, which I wish we didn't accept as a country in the first place. But the same people who gave it to us now, we have allowed the gift to get in such a state now that the givers are now having to maintain that which they gave us, which we ought to have been maintaining as a country.
I know what you want me to say on that, because I mean, that we don't believe in maintenance.
And I mean, when East Street, Look, I dare say East Street ought to have been the most well-maintained road on this island for one simple reason. You got the police, you got the fire department, and you got the hospital. Those three essential services in the life of this country having to use East Street every single day. But Michelle, that road is so pothole it ain't even funny. I heard a gentleman some years ago say that he was being taken to the hospital in an ambulance, and when they got on East Street, the ride on the road was causing him more pain than the injury that he had, as to why he was being taken to the hospital.
Right.
Michelle, what is wrong with us, Michelle? So have we as a people improved? Have we progressed? 50 years later, you and me and all of we UK are crying over the state of affairs in our country. One person can't make the difference, but all of us together could make, can make, should make. But like we just mentioned a while ago, so many of us are afraid to rock the boat. But yet the boat's sinking with everybody in it, and nobody wants to say, "Master, the boat's sinking." They're hoping that Master can run the boat up on the shore before the boat completely sinks, so the boat won't completely go under, but the boat's still sinking.
Yeah, well, like I said, vision. Where there is no vision, the people cast off restraints.
Michelle, let me amend that one slightly. There seems to be a vision in the country, but I dare say it's not the best or the right kind of a vision. Let me tell you what I mean by that. Our natural resources from Coon days, and you know the kind of trouble you got in when you were guardian for having been dealing with the issues on natural resources. So I don't need to school you on this one. But my point is, if we really and truly as a people understood and cared and respected all that God has blessed us with, and allowed integrity and honesty and fairness to rule in this country, Michelle. Today, I dare say the Bahamas, because of the natural resources, Aragonite in particular, would have been a lot better off if only we had the right and proper mindset, instead of allowing allegedly or apparently realistically allowing special interests to hog those things up.
It ain't just special interest. Corruption is a major part of our problem as well.
That's the bedrock of it. Yes.
I just came from a luncheon of the Rotary of East Nassau, and was talking with one of my now fellow Rotarians, because they inducted me as a member of that club today. And we were talking about this problem that we have, or perceived or real, or both, where any investor that comes in here is under the impression that they have to pay some money to somebody to get something done in an expeditious manner.
It is that.
Or we see, where somebody will go into the House of Assembly and don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out.
And 5 years later, they got a big mansion.
But they come out millionaires and gazillionaires. And we were saying that, if you were to calculate, if there was some way to calculate all of the monies that have been lost in overpaying for services in this country, we'd be able to pay off the national debt.
Wow, is that bad?
It's that bad.
Lord. But Michelle, our national debt is more than $10 billion. Eh?
Yeah, I stutter.
Is that really bad?
I did not stutter.
Oh, my.
But I'm talking over the years. I ain't talking in one particular year or one administration.
The debt didn't happen overnight. It happened over the years.
I'm talking decades.
last 40, 50 years.
Okay, I ain't talking about the one administration or the I talking
Exactly,
over the many
years.
years.
Yep, from the time we became independent.
We would be able to pay off our national debt. It is now, from what I understand, expected that when you go in to bid for something, you're expected to put in a bid for more than the work is valued at, because some of that got to go to somebody, allegedly, to pay them to make sure that either you get the contract or that you don't have any hindrances to carrying out the work. I hear people come on here and say, "Oh, we need to take a stand and stop putting that narrative out there." But if it looked like a duck and it waddle like a duck and it quack like a duck,
then
chances are strongly it's a duck.
And like the saying goes, to where there's smoke, more than likely there is.
So fire. We could stand all we want and say, "Oh, you can't talk about," but we got to get our act together.
Michelle, from first-hand experience, and if that's a call coming out, I'll wrap up quick. Let me make it quick. The thing is, I have an associate, international associate, Michelle, who's been working along with me on a particular project that I just introduced to the government on the 30th of January of this year. Okay, a unique, brand new project. Okay, that particular contact of mine said the very same thing to me. Said, Jerome, when you are calculating your figures for your project, you better include an additional million or two, because you are going to have to pay somebody somewhere or somehow to get your project done.
That unfortunately, even if that's just a perception, that is what is expected in this country, and it's got to stop.
It was not just a perception, because the person themselves experienced it.
Yeah. But listen, I do have another call.
All right, then. Thank you for your time.
Thanks for calling. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Malcolm.
Yes, sir.
My hand is clean, too.
Oh, hey! You know you got to play that clip, right?
My hand clean.
The man say he barking up the wrong tree.
All barking up the wrong tree.
And if he want to see the gorilla, come out.
But on a serious note, I want to touch on the garbage collection that comes around inside the nighttime. Okay, you have citizens that have these pit bull and stuff like that, and the guys them got to come out and go in the yard and be pulling out the garbage can and stuff like that. Government have to take a serious look at this right away before one of these pit bull them attack these fellas them, pulling out the because these pit bulls be out late in the night and stuff like that. And you can imagine, you come to work and late in the night you going to pull out a garbage and the pit bull come and attack you. So if we gonna give these people them license or whatever to have these pit bulls,
they're supposed to keep them restrained.
They chain and train and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because you can't tell me you sorry and all of that and another life gone. We as retail things happen and then we started doing. We have to, man, come on, man. We have to now get serious with this little country. The Chinese woman, she sorry, look at the government property. You're going to tell me now who was that supervisor allowed come in the morning time and couldn't notice and see how the place was broken down and nobody just don't worry about that, man. We're going to ask somebody that don't need help fix it back. What kind of country this is? This couldn't be no private hotel or whatever. Why? Oh my! We allowing these things to happen.
We have become a people, we like handouts, and them handouts, they come at a cost. And that's what we need to realize.
Exactly.
Ain't no free lunch.
I can't believe it.
But I don't understand how we've gotten to this place where, whether it be begging on the side of the street or begging in a highfalutin office, we become a begging nation. We like handouts.
And that is the reason why, since we like handout, that is the reason why everything is going to pass. Whatever we see on the book that the Bahamian people are making noise about, they might as well stop from making noise.
Someone asked me if I know the average intake of a bum. You know, the fellas on the side of the street begging. I say, no, how much? Listen, the Bahamas now. They say about 600 a day. I say, what? Say, yeah, they taking in about 600. I say, man, I need to go on the side of the road and beg.
But
and that's the kind of money they make it.
Last week,
but this has become so ingrained in our culture now that we think nothing of it. I see these bunch of big, strapping young men they sit on the side of a bank or the store. I see no obvious injuries or disabilities, but they park there, and every person who come in or out, they begging.
Right, that's right.
Miss, you could give me some money for lunch, please? You ain't offer to wipe down my car. You ain't offer to help me carry my groceries. I supposed to just take money out my pocket. And listen, I'm not saying that people don't have need out there. I get it. People going through. But my God, make some kind of effort to do something.
Right.
But if I'm making $600 a day by sitting out there begging, that's my job.
You take like how the day is Friday, Royal Bank and these other banks in the food store, they stand up right there.
Man, look here, I need to go into begging business.
And you know, last week when I told
you know what I can do with $600 a day?
When I told you last week, we can try all the means now to run this country, and we see ain't nothing happening. I put you in a mixing pot. You say, take you out. But I serious, you and Hannah and Ms. Butler, they're the only three women that I see really strong to, I believe, to take this country over. And somebody got to say, here am I, Lord. Here am I. Send me. Somebody have to say it, because we cannot continue with the country going down like this. Yeah, we have jobs all around jobs. I see a lot of jobs opening and stuff like that. But yet still, nobody taking responsibility. Everything just breaking up, and government ain't saying nothing. Nobody going before the court. Nobody going to jail and this and that. Plenty talk and stuff like that. Malcolm, the country is too small. I can see if we was one of the big state or stuff like that. The country is too small, and we can't handle this.
I have a comment from Rain on Facebook. Rain says, a strapping young man asked me for money, and I asked him to wash my car. He told me that he makes more money begging than working. This is a reality. That's a business, sweet girl. They're making more money than people around here dress up in suit. $600 a day. That's how much the quote-unquote bum told my friend and colleague that's on average of what he takes in a day. $600 a day.
My God.
And you're on there dress up in suit and they're making that. These fellas know exactly what they're doing. Anyhow, I got to take a break though.
Yes, Ms. Malcolm, thank you.
But thanks for calling. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, let's talk about the week that was, because you know the man say he barking up the wrong tree. And you ain't want to see the gorilla come out. I say, well, what a time in Dumfries Church. Let's go to break. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Glasses love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun. This weekend, make sure you go out to Tiki Bikini Hut on Junkanoo Beach, especially on Sunday after church. They've got a great Sunday brunch offer there. Wonderful food, great atmosphere. You have to worry about washing dishes and cleaning up. If you mention GPS, that you heard about them on the show, you get a nice, sweet little discount. I want you guys to support all of our sponsors, whether it be Sunny and those at Sunshine Auto, whether you're talking about executive printers on Jerome Avenue, you're talking about the mail boat, you're talking about Lee Air Charter, or Lee Air Courier Service. Make sure you go and support those businesses because they support GPS. And as much as of you come up to me and say, "Oh, Michelle, I really enjoy your show," I hope my sponsors are seeing you in their stores, because that's another way to enjoy my show, by supporting my sponsors. I can't be on the air without them. So if you have a business that you'd like to promote, this is good fertile ground. give us a call, 3260271, 3260272, or WhatsApp us at 8010271 or 805-6430, and we'll make sure to get your ads on the air. So this is a TGIF Open Line show. The numbers to call in, 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, and the WhatsApp line for text messages and calls is 8010271, 8010271. And of course, we are streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm or Global 99.5 FM pages. We are streaming live on YouTube, so you can check us out there. And if you are a Cable Bahamas subscriber, you can tune in on channel 974. All right, so is that a caller? Caller, welcome to GPS.
A great day to talking away so long with you, Michelle.
Raymond, how are you?
How are you holding? Going through it, but I'm holding.
Good.
Couple of things. We need justice, law, and order in this country, the Bahamas.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Wayne Monroe got to do something with Central. Most of the time I call there, they're going to tell me they don't have any cars. I don't need to hear that. It's like going to break the law and get locked up. But other people could break the law and not happening. You know what I'm saying? And that's not decent. Wayne Monroe got to do something because people getting tired of this foolishness. Other point I want to say, right, make right? Those athletes, it's time for those athletes, those young athletes, to be getting some money because the coaches gets money. Okay, those children, parents, spending all kind of money to have them ready for them to eat properly and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So give those children some money, and those children doing a great deal for this country. You know what I'm saying? Most of these people in this country, all they want to do is milk the Bahamian people until they're milking the children. They got to do better. Wayne Monroe got to do better than this. Thank you.
All right, thanks for calling, Brayman. You know, this whole challenge with no cars or whatever, that ain't just start. We got to do a better job in general to address these problems, you know? But he's the man sitting in the seat right now, so it is what it is. You know, we put y'all in there, or they put y'all in there, or whoever, because you said you could do a better job than the folks was there before you. And so we don't want to hear no excuse. We want to see some action. At least show yourself to be better than them last set, because otherwise, what's the point? Switching back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, if you're not going to see any real change and difference. Speaking of which, Prime Minister Davis, speaking to members of the media this week, discussed the food assistance program that was put in place during the pandemic, saying that they're still trying to figure out how millions of dollars were spent. And then we saw where the former Prime Minister, Hubert Alexander Minnis, was amongst several people who were questioned by police as it relates to this disbursement of funds. So first, let's hear from the current Prime Minister, and then we will hear the response from the former Prime Minister.
Prime Minister Philip Davis revealing exclusively to Eyewitness News government is trying to discover what was done with the funds involved in the former administration's COVID-19 food assistance program.
All I know is that we are trying to understand how the money was spent.
His comments come after former Prime Minister Hubert Minnis told a local daily last week he was interviewed by 3 senior police officers early this year for over an hour. This as part of an extensive criminal investigation.
There's an accounting that should have been done by the then competent authority. That was not done, and we are seeking to have that accounting complete.
Though not a suspect, when Eyewitness News reached out to Dr. Minnis for a comment, he opted not to, adding that he will do so within the halls of Parliament tomorrow. Prime Minister Davis last month accused an unnamed non-profit organization of misusing $53 million issued to the National Food Distribution Task Force.
So that first of all, that the country would understand how the monies were spent, see where there were any pitfalls, and so we could, learn from the experiences that might be revealed that may not have been the right way to do it.
Eyewitness News understands some 75 people have been interviewed so far as part of that investigation. And while Dr. Minnis has maintained the integrity of the National Food Program leader, Susan Lawson, Prime Minister Davis is concerned about tying the loose ends.
What is happening, I don't know the extent of what's going on there, apart from trying to find an answer to be able to report to the Bahamian people how their monies were spent.
All right, 54 million. And there are reports that, apart from food, things like speedboats were purchased and luxury trucks, etc., with money that was supposedly earmarked for the food assistance program. In any event, an investigation is obviously underway. Now, as you would have heard in that clip, former Prime Minister Minnis, he had some words to say. He didn't speak to Eyewitness News, but he did speak to our news with regard to his response to what Davis is saying. And he is issuing a warning to Prime Minister Davis. I ain't gonna put no words in his mouth. I can let y'all hear it come out of his mouth himself.
I believe it is important to specifically warn contractors and other businesses who employ persons.
My hands are more than clean. My hands are more than clean. I think, and I've said it before, I think the Prime Minister, when he questioned me, he barking up the wrong tree. He barking up the wrong tree. And he knows that. And he do not want this giant or this gorilla to come forth.
That was the former Prime Minister's response when asked if he and his administration's hands are clean regarding the handling of the National Food Distribution Task Force. Dr. Minnis says 3 senior officers interviewed him for over an hour. He says the police gave him the option to be questioned at the police station or at a neutral location, and he chose a neutral location with his lawyer. Minnis believes the government is targeting them.
This is more than a wish out. The government knows that they are mismanaging this country. They know that crime is out of control. They know that they have gone overboard in terms of taxing the people in this country at a time when there's inflation. They are making it worse. They have introduced the Brave Davis inflation, which is worse than the world's inflation.
The scope of the investigation into the food program is unclear, but the Prime Minister has said the program lacked oversight. Dr. Minnis has praised the program, adding that the NGOs and food stores that partnered should be praised as well. Since being questioned earlier this year, Dr. Minnis says he hasn't been contacted again in relation to the matter.
If they want to question me, they can question me. They know the facts. The facts are Cabinet approved the individuals, Cabinet approved the budget, and that was the end. The politicians would have had no involvement whatsoever after that. The conclusions are sent to the various ministries, and that is it.
Lastly, do you
and that's all of that is all any politician can say to them.
We have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hi, Michelle. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Before I deal with the self-proclaimed giant gorilla, I just want to make a comment in reference to accountability and expectations for ourselves as a people when we elect these members of parliament. I'm concerned because you've been taxed, and every day we see the increases and they're tightening up. Mr. Alcides and his team, they're doing all of these, trying to clog up these, what they call leaks, in reference to base, which is, with taxing Airbnbs and whatever you name it, it's being taxed. And NIB should be going up. You'll hear an announcement, I guess, shortly. The thing is, you may have to do that. We may quibble, or no one likes to have to spend any additional funds, but what I want to see the results of it. I want to see the fruits of my labor, how my money is being spent, what is being spent on. And one of the things, Michelle, that I am very concerned about, and I'm watching for, I have yet to see. We have come through a devastating time in our country, but not just with COVID, with Dorian, right? And the shelters, the hurricane shelters. I don't know if you can tell me, or someone can tell me, has there been I was thinking about this a rail shelter. Has any of the monies been spent on building a shelter in Grand Bahama or in Abaco or in New Providence?
None that I know of.
And this is where I have right that we're about to go into another hurricane season, right? We don't have a substantial shelter in this country. You know, we've heard reports about there's going to be a new hospital here, and in Grand Bahama, the announcement. We want to see these things. We want to see what our taxpayers' dollars is being spent on. I made I don't know if you remember on your show when it was the top with the VAT on, taking off of medications and whatever have you.
Right.
They say, but you can go to the hospital, or they have a program in their pharmacies. You still cannot find. My mom is in hospital a few weeks ago, very critical condition. Thank God she's home now, right? She's 86 years old. We had to go and actually get and buy the the iron medication that she needed, for her to be given through the veins, right? After her blood transfusion, they didn't have any available in the hospital, so we had to go and purchase that. What I'm saying is, these are the things that they need to make sure that the medications are stocked up. You understand what I'm saying? It's like the things are stocked up, so that at least if it's going to be taxed, you see what you're spending your taxpayers' dollars for. And there I go to my second point in reference to the former Prime Minister. I'm fine with him saying, yes, his hands are clean and whatever, that's fine. He should have stopped right there. But to go on and say, but you're barking up the wrong tree because you're questioning, in other words, me, how dare you? He's in essence saying, how dare you question me? And you're going to, I'm going to give you water, whatever with me. He knows the gorilla is going to come out. We already saw the gorilla. We saw the gorilla, his term as Prime Minister. So that's no big deal, big deal with that. But the thing is, the audacity of him to be offended. He is offended for being questioned, being asked questions about the Bahamian people's monies. This is the very same man who was so adamant and so against corruption. You should not have a problem going and sitting down, answering questions in relation. If you can shed light on, you understand if they have questions on how the monies were spent. There's nothing. How much is $53 million? There's nothing wrong with answering questions, because, if you do nothing, you fare nothing. But to go and levy, and this is a person who wants to be called a statesman, to be saying those words, and then as a black man in this world, to go and pump, because he knows when he speaks and when the mic is on, everybody, your show, Michelle, everything is worldwide now. We're worldwide. For you to address yourself and to tag yourself and call yourself a giant gorilla. You understand what I'm saying? Knowing our history, knowing as far as with this whole racism and all this, is so much into what he said. And this is the person who wants to lead this country again. He's wrong for that. He's disappointed. I mean, you shouldn't say I don't have any expectations from him or whatever. But I'm disappointed in the words he chose to use in defending himself. But Michelle, I just wanted to say that. And you have a good and a safe weekend.
You too.
Okay, thank you.
My only response to the whole, the wording aside, the call is absolutely right, but the wording aside, but this whole arrogant bravado that was put on display, because if hearing it is one thing, but to actually watch him as he says it, like, you got the nerve to question me? You really want to see the real me come out, and you know better. It reminded me of a biblical story of King Nebuchadnezzar. I think it was Nebuchadnezzar. Because what happens is these people get in these positions of authority and they making all this money, and they allow it to get to their head to the point where they really honestly believe that they are above questioning, above everyone, above the law, above questioning. They just in another league, from the rest of us. And in that particular Bible story, this particular king had amassed all of this wealth and conquered all of these kingdoms, and he was on top of the world. And he sat back admiring all that he had conquered and all that he had achieved. And, he was talking about, I have done this, and look what I have accomplished. And I. The next thing we know, that man had lost his mind to the place where he was literally out eating grass. He got off kind of easy because eventually he regained his sense. But I wonder if these people realize that the very breath that they are breathing is not theirs. When you think about it, as big and bad as you think you may be, and this ain't just a message to menace, because there are many in this country who believe that their social status and everything that they have achieved in life makes them better than those who have not done as well. And they have this air of arrogance. And if you dare to stand up and say no, or you're wrong, or whatever, they want to destroy you. How dare you question me? I wonder if these people realize that they don't even have control over the very next breath they breathe. You so high and mighty, so big and bad, all the Lord got to do is snatch that breath. You wouldn't even end up eating grass. You'll end up pushing up grass. Dead and gone. I wonder if they realize that. I just think that a lot of people in this country, many of them politicians, need a good taste of humble pie before you end up eating grass. Y'all have to understand something if you ain't already realized this yet. All of us heading on the same road. All of us end up in one common place, and that's the grave. All of us will become worm food. All of our bodies. Worms can eat all of us, unless Christ returns sooner. And in the grave, there is no such thing as class and status. You're just worm food. You need to humble yourself. Because all God got to do is snatch that breath from you, and then what? You with your big bad self, then what? It just never ceases to amaze me, the level of arrogance. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Good afternoon, Ms. Waldo.
Hey.
Listen, you was reminded of King Nebuchadnezzar. When I heard the interview, I was reminded of the most honorable, competent authority.
And he named himself that.
Exactly. Come on, that's the height of arrogance. That's why I really appreciated the Right Honorable Terry Christie and Cuba Negro for not taking that time. You keep that. That's yours. You make that up. That's yours. But I was reminded of him because when they spoke, when they was in government, it always felt like they was talking down to the Bahamian people. Never really talking to us or with us, but down, from on high. And my thing with this is, if your hands is clean, I can respect that. But could you at least admit that there was some kind of wrongdoing under your watch, that somebody messed up somewhere, and you should not mind that this government is trying to find out where the mess up was. Because if I put somebody in a position to control a certain amount of money, but if they mess up, why you try to protect them? You mess up, I mess up. But it's like, who you trying to protect, Dr. Minutes? I'm trying to figure that out. You wasn't the one who used the $48,000 mirror in the embassy, but it was bought under your watch. And it's like, he trying to protect everybody, and it don't work like that. Not only we should charge politicians like Shane Gibson or Frank Smith or the MP for Long Island or the former Minister of Youth Sports, but those who are under them, who did wrong, who broke the law in terms of these funds, I think should be held accountable. And I don't know why Dr. Minutes is trying to protect these people and using the good name of the good NGOs to protect them. That doesn't make sense to me.
Well, you just got to follow the money. That's all I got to say on that.
But I still don't know why protect these people.
Follow the money.
Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for calling. I got to be careful what I say on there because, there's responsibility to the station and to myself. I ain't trying to get sued. But just follow the money. It don't take a genius to figure out what's going on. And this ain't just start. It's been going on for decades. Decades. I know something probably went down wrong, but because I sit in the seat and because it happened under my leadership, I am not going to help you figure out what went wrong. I may have been complicit in what went wrong. I may have had knowledge of what was going wrong. So why should I help you in your investigation? Don't you dare come and question me. And I'm not saying that that's what happened in this case. I'm just speaking in general terms. So, this is the Bahamas in which we live. And it has become so ingrained in our culture that we now expect it. And that's the scary part. That's the scary part. We'll be back with more on the other side of this break. Stay with us. This is GPS on a TGIF Open Line Friday.
Global Paradigm Shift will return.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Longevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, tints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
It's gotten harder and harder to get your daily requirement of vital nutrients from food alone. Without additional vitamin and nutrient support, your health and well-being can suffer drastically. That's why Z-Radical was specifically formulated. It combines a blend of antioxidant-rich vitamins, minerals, and botanicals with the protective powers of fucoidan to help fill the gaps from lack of nutrients in your foods. The core of Z-Radical is fucoidan, a naturally occurring polysaccharide that helps stimulate immune reaction, protecting you against inflammation and oxidative stress. We harvest this powerful mineral-rich nutrient from brown seaweed, harvested only from the world's most pristine ocean waters to ensure the purest quality. It's then extracted using cold process technology to ensure maximum levels of bioavailability. Then we add essential vitamins that help to protect your cardiovascular and nervous systems and are crucial for optimal immune and neurological function. Z-Radical also includes a proprietary blend of delicious antioxidant-rich fruits and berries. This great-tasting combination helps your body combat free radical imbalances that can contribute to a variety of degenerative conditions like arthritis and heart disease. Z-Radical. Experience the power of fucoidan with antioxidant-rich berries, 8 essential vitamins, and more to provide you with potent health benefits. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
And we are back. Welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm in your company on this TGIF Open Line show every Friday. This is what we do here, where you are my co-host. The telephone numbers to call: 326-0271, 326-0271, 326-0272, 326-0272. The WhatsApp line for messages or calls is 801-0271, 801-0271. And of course, we are streaming live on Facebook. So if you haven't already done so, like and share the show. Let everybody know the GPS is on the air, and that we're talking about the week that was. So make sure you let everybody know to tune in. You can also catch us on Cable Bahamas Channel 974. All right, so we had quite a bit of excitement this past week. We saw where the Carifta team did exceptionally well. On the Bahamas Carifta team, we came in second in the track and field events. We came in first in the aquatics with a commanding lead, and everybody was in a celebratory mood and congratulating our athletes, etc. But then after the games completed, well, at the end of the games, we saw a bit of controversy as it relates to the administration of the games. Some, questions about disqualifications, and some of the athletes from other countries levying accusations that they were not treated well. And we hear all this talk about how much money was or was not spent on these games. And in some quarters, you hear 9 million, and other quarters, you're hearing quite a bit less than that. Well, the LOC CEO had an opportunity to speak with the media, and he defended the amount of money that was spent on these Carifta games. Here's a report on that.
Chief Executive Officer of the local organizing committee for the 50th Carifta Games, Lyndon Maycock, is standing by the numbers he gave at the weekly press briefing held at the office of the Prime Minister on Thursday.
Cash disbursement to date was correct with what the Minister would have noted, but my numbers represented what would be the end results with respect to what will happen for the World Relays. It was beyond, and I said that. I said It was Carifta, Bahama Games, and for World Relays.
An official from the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture told a local daily that Maycock's statement about $9 million being spent for Carifta prep was incorrect and that $839,000 was the accurate figure. But Maycock says
$2.5 million in capital works for the Carifta Games would have happened under in terms of stadium preparation. Then we talked about our operations. Our operations were 3.5. Pretty much $1 million for operation to ensure that the games are effectively managed.
the ministry official said there may have been confusion around the expenditures associated with the maintenance of the stadium and the preparations for the Carifta Games, Bahamas Games, and World Relays.
The minister's correct. I am correct. And so the numbers are, I mean, any accountant will understand. Our numbers are posted to our website. If you have any questions, any concerns about our numbers, they are posted to our website. And so please, they're all for everyone to understand. I'm very plain speaking in terms of my numbers, and I stand by my numbers.
The minister is correct, but he is correct. Can the two of them be correct? When the numbers are so vastly different, the man says, go and visit the website, everything is explained. Now, here's my big concern when it comes to this. We're talking $9 million, and however that is broken down, it's broken down. We realize that as much as we, as a country, were standing behind our athletes and wanted them to do well, this really was a junior track meet. Really, when you think about it, Carifta is a junior track meet in all of the, when you compare it to other major track meets around the world, all things considered, this was a junior track meet. And when you look at events, for instance, like the Penn Relays, I think the Penn Relays may have spent maybe $500,000 to pull that off, with, I believe, more athletes than we would have had at Carifta. Other countries have been able to stage the Carifta Games at far less money than what we put out. Whether it was $2.5 million, $3.5 million, $9 million, whatever the figure was, it still far exceeded what other countries have paid to host the games. Did we look good? Oh, yeah. We looked real good. We looked amazing. But when you break down how much money was spent per how many medals were handed out, I dare say we would have spent over $200,000 per medal. Think about it. Break it down. I know we all like to have a good time, and we got to show the world that the Bahamas know how to put on an event. I get that. But this wasn't the World Relays. This wasn't CAC Games. This was a junior track meet. Junior. How can we justify outlaying that kind of money for a junior track meet? And like I would have said in the show we did on Tuesday, immediately following the Carifta Games, would that money not have been better spent, some of it at least, creating facilities throughout the country so that these very athletes that we all came together to celebrate and cheer on would actually have some facilities they could train on so that they can go to these meets and do even better than they did here at home? I just wonder how we justify some things at times, how we we try to make sense of what, I mean, for all intents and purposes, from what everybody can see, can't make no sense. I have a message coming in on WhatsApp. It says, I'd rather have questions I cannot get answers than to have questions I cannot. Hold on. I'd rather have questions I cannot get answers than to have answers I cannot question. The former statement is indicative of one who has wisdom and is seeking knowledge, but the latter symbolizes ignorance, bigotry, and an unreasonable tolerance for the truth. Okay. I am not sure who you're referring to when you talk about ignorance, bigotry, and an unreasonable intolerance for the truth. What are you referring to? I need you to make that a little clearer for me. It says the former statement is indicative of one who has wisdom and is seeking knowledge, but the latter symbolizes ignorance, bigotry, and an unreasonable intolerance for the truth. Okay. I need you to help clarify, please. If you're saying that a statement that I have made or any of my Facebook viewers have made is based on ignorance and bigotry, then please give us the knowledge we lack. Texter, I'm always willing to learn. I'm not saying that I am perfect or I know everything, because I certainly don't. I'm always willing to learn, and there may be some information that I'm not privy to. Or maybe you're talking about somebody else. I don't know who you're talking about. You need to make that text a little bit more clear. But yeah, when we look at the amount of hard work and dedication that goes into preparing these young people to perform well internationally, I think we really need to pull up our socks and do a far better job of giving them the facilities that they need to train and prepare, as opposed to spending all this money to look good. Because at the end of the day, is it justified? That's all I'm asking. Can we justify spending that kind of money on a junior track meet? Because that's really what CARIFTA is. CARIFTA is a junior track meet, all things considered. Okay, so let's the texter sent another message. The texter says 9 million. I can't imagine what the budget is for the upcoming July 10th celebrations. Oh, that's another text. Not even the same person. Another one says the government could have spent $1. People would have complained, or why they spending so little. Any amount of money investing in the youths, I for it. We crying about the youths, but when they trying to invest in them, people complain, just can't please everyone. But see, Carl, I'm texting, see, I think you missed the point, because my point is, did that money go to the youth? Or did it go elsewhere? I don't think it went to the youth. And that's what I'm trying to say. It would have been better spent had it gone to put in facilities for our youth to train in. I don't think all that went to the youth. But yet we justified spending it. My point is, it could have been better spent for the youth, giving them the facilities they need throughout the country to train, putting a proper program in place to ensure that our athletes get the best as it relates to training and facilities and diet, and putting a program in place for the youth, the very people you're talking about right now. Can you justify that all of that money that was spent on the youth? I dare say no. And that's the point I'm trying to make. So, I ain't trying to rain on nobody parade at all. I'm just questioning whether or not it made sense to spend that kind of money on what was spent and not seemingly being willing to invest some of that. No. So texter, so we have another message from a texter on WhatsApp, and this person says, Ms. Malcolm, did you say they spent $200,000 for all the medals or just one? Yes, I agree. Sports needs way more spend and need politics totally removed, whereas the Bahamas former medial in charge and all other sport business enthusiasts running the state. When I saw the former PM making the presentation, I said to myself, they've gone too far, enough is enough. Now, what I was saying, texter, is if you look at the amount of money that was spent and you divide that by the amount of medals that were given out, we would have spent, in essence, $200,000 or so for each medal. I'm not saying that that's what they spent for the medals. No. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to make a point in terms of the value of the money that was spent. That's the point I'm trying to make. No, I did not say that they spent $200,000 for each medal. Okay? So don't misquote me there. All right, let me read a couple of your comments. C. Allen says he is saying that from leadership, he'd rather be able to ask questions rather than not being able to question their answers. Okay. Thanks for the clarification. Miko says, I think they are speaking about the information on the amount spent and who is telling the truth. Okay, we have another message on YouTube. Let's see what this person says. Just a second, let me pull it up. It says, I'm agreeing with you when they spend on new facilities, then they can complain about that too, or why they're building new facilities, and they go on, say we need new hospital, don't. Man, please read over y'all comments before y'all send them, because I can't make out what to say. It ain't making no sense. New hospitals don't, what you do, they will, I guess you meant to say, no, doesn't matter what you do, they will complain, just can't please humans. Yeah, okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So yeah, that's just something to think about. Again, we looked really good. Really good. But at what cost? Did it make sense to spend all our money when our children running without tracks, running through dirt road, the train, through the islands? You look at Stevie Gardner, ruling the world right now. And Stevie Gardner ain't had no track in Morris Island to train on. Stevie Gardner had to run on dirt road to train. How many other kids out there throughout the Bahamas are able to bring glory to this nation? But we'll never know, because either they don't have the facilities to train or their families can't afford to send them to be a part of a track club or something like that to receive proper training. How many? We got to do a better job. And I just think we need to be more accountable for how we spend the kind of money that we spend in this country. Jillian says it's apparent there were a lot of negative feedback, not from within out other countries. Bahamians are not responsible for that. They didn't feel the Bahamas government was ready. Anyway, it's time to remove sports from politics. It's time. I mean, these wouldn't be the first games to be hosted. We've hosted other games before. And we know how to put on a good show. We know how to make ourselves look good. We know, I call it, I mean, you hardly got two pennies to rub together, but boy, when behemoths step out, you'll never know. Because we know how to put on a show. But how much sense does it make if our young people don't have a proper facility to train in? If we don't have a proper program in place, could not that money have been better spent? We need to put our money where our mouth is. And if we say we want to encourage excellence through sport, then let's show that. Not just in a flashy track meet, but actually putting things in place so these young people can excel. Make it easier for them to bring glory to the nation. That's all I'm saying. When we come back, we're going to talk about the RCI situation. RCI is speaking up. We'll hear what they have to say after this.
Global Paradigm Shift will return.
At Lee Air, safety is our #1 priority. Flying since 1996, we offer scheduled flights into Fresh Creek and Mangrove Key Andros and Great Harbor Key, Berry Island, twice daily, 7 days a week. Affordable charter services are also available to anywhere in the Bahamas and the Caribbean. Lee Air Charter Services. Call 225-3267, 702-7127, or 322-1317 for reservations.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 hyperimmune egg powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
For all your building needs, it's Carib Construction and Project Management on Gladstone Road. We build it all. Schools, homes, hotels, and more, including structures requiring a Phase 3 electrical contractor. We also provide project management services. The first step towards your dream building begins at Carib Construction and Project Management. Call us at 376-1556 or 341-4466.
One of the things I love about the Mailboat is their relationship with Bahamas Air. I can earn travel points on my international freight and redeem them when I fly.
For me, online shopping is easy with Mailboat's U.S. addresses and regular freight delivery to Nassau. Plus, I can always prepay customs and freight, and they always notify me when my package arrives.
Yeah, a lot of people think the Mailboat is just for shipping, but they also offer a safe and secure storage facility at affordable rates, all in a central, convenient location.
We also offer passenger service into Freeport multiple times per week with a seating capacity of over 450 persons. With family movies on large screens, one hot meal included, and on-board lounge for snacks and soft drinks. We're the Mailboat. We're bridging people, products, and places.
Executive Printers is your one-stop shop for all your branding and customization needs. Letterheads, envelopes, business cards, invoices, share and gift certificates, rubber stamps, vouchers, funeral programs, brochures, flyers, banners, and promotional items like mugs, water bottles, mouse pads, and key rings, all with personable service and great quality. No project is too small or too large. For great turnaround and competitive pricing, make an executive decision. Call us at 393-5011.
And we are back. Welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. We are streaming live on Facebook on the official Global 99.5 and Michelle Malcolm Facebook pages. You can also check us out on YouTube. And of course, you can call in 3260271. 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, and the WhatsApp line is 8010271, 8010271, and you can also check us out on Cable Bahamas, channel 974. So the folks from RCI are speaking out, and they're addressing their PI project, which has garnered quite a bit of attention and sparked some controversy, and they are presenting their side of the story. Here is a report from Eyewitness News about a conversation that they had with the CEO with regard to the Paradise Island project.
The fact that we were approved to move forward with the project, that doesn't say that everything is improved. We have to go through all the permitting and the process and the environmental process.
RCI President Michael Bailey says a green light from government does not absolve the company from going through the required red tape for approval. His comments coming on the heels of mounting pushback from Atlanta's President Audrey Oswald and environmental watchdogs who've sounded the alarm, suggesting that the proposed beach clubhouse would do more harm than good. Their biggest bone of contention: how will the RCI deal with waste management?
We're just completing a $20 million project in Cocoa Key, where we have a 3-step state-of-the-art technology that takes the waste and repurposes the waste after processing so that it can be used as a fertilizer for our landscaping. I'd invited Audrey to meet and to walk the site and discuss the plans as we were thinking about the project. And she came, we spoke, and they raised some concerns, and we were happy to receive their concerns. And we'd explained to them that we were also happy to answer those questions when the timing is right.
And that timing is right now, as Bailey says. They've purposely kept quiet on much of the ongoing criticism and controversy surrounding the deal, including the legal wranglings surrounding Crown Land. Entrepreneur Toby Smith taking government to task for approving the RCL deal while his lighthouse project was rejected.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I think it's been an unfortunate situation. Subsequently, when we started talking with the current government, they're the ones who proposed that we maybe reduce the request for the lease land so that we could remove ourselves completely from the conflict that was ongoing.
And we pressed the cruise line executive on whether or not Smith's project and the beach clubhouse could coexist.
The idea that one group has to succeed and another fails is the wrong perspective. Any new experience that has quality, that delivers a great experience, I think we should all applaud and welcome that to the product.
Other issue RCI faces was its decision to back out of the purchase of the Grand Lucine Resort in Grand Bahama. Former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis reported that this was a critical component of that project that should have remained. So did the cruise line always intend to back out of Grand Bahama to secure the Paradise Island property?
There was a desire, certainly on our part, to do both of these projects, absolutely. but they weren't connected in some way that said if one project happens, the other one will happen. That was never the case. There was no such agreement. And we went through the pandemic. That changed the world entirely, particularly as it relates to these big projects. We had to press pause on so many of these projects. When we came out of the pandemic, obviously we can restart some, but not all of those projects.
Meanwhile, questions have also surfaced on government's approval of the deal after vehemently opposing it while in opposition. The deal is one that Education Minister Glenys Hanna-Martin says she still disagrees with. So, in Bailey's view, why did the Davis administration have a change of heart?
Time. Time changes many perspectives. We never had any discussions at all. I think we've had an opportunity to talk the project through. I think they've had an opportunity to understand the different dynamics around this project and get more facts.
And if you thought that the RCI group received any special favors or concessions, Bailey was sure to set the record straight on that issue.
So there's no special consideration or concessions being made. We think it's a project and a model that's a true win-win, and I think the people of the Bahamas should be kind of pleased that this project's coming alive.
Well, Atlantis may have a problem with it, but Bahamar is saying something else, according to an article that appears in today's Nassau Guardian. Bahamar is open to RCI collaboration. According to the article, Davis says the PI project could help improve overall tourism product. Davis being the president of Bahamar. So the article says that Bahamar will support Royal Caribbean International's $100 million beach club project plan for the western end of Paradise Island if everything is done to ensure that it meets the highest environmental standards, Bahamar President Graham Davis said. If the development is done in accordance with the environmental regulations and it doesn't adversely affect the environment and it is done in a thoughtful and sustainable way, then yes, we support it, said Davis, when asked about the proposal, which has attracted some controversy. The Guardian quotes him as saying, if it brings more passengers and more economic positive impact to the country, then yes, we agree with it, but it has to be done thoughtfully. It has to be done in accordance with the guidelines of the environmental impact study. And look, if it's a derelict patch of land, which there are some derelict houses, I think on that site, and it can be improved and create a vibrant economic engine for local Bahamians for job opportunities, fantastic. So Davis apparently spoke with the Nassau Guardian after reception RCI hosted for industry stakeholders at Bahamar in Cabo Beach. So, in the meantime, Bahamian Toby Smith is asking the government to level the playing field for Bahamians. Toby says that he is terming what is happening as essentially a modern-day David and Goliath battle for Crown land, and is again accusing the government of providing favorable treatment to the foreign investor. In a statement to media on Wednesday, Toby said that the 12th of April 2023 marks the start of our 12th year in bringing about this restoration and sustainable development for the benefit of all Bahamians and our guests. This is how hard a Bahamian company has to fight to fully restore the oldest lighthouse in our country, free of charge, and create a venue for Bahamians to have beach access and use our Crown land with modern amenities. He added, we recognize that there is not a foreign component to our project and we should not be penalized nor disadvantaged for this. We see foreign promises flying in a dime a dozen, and Bahamians have been sidelined and pushed aside. The playing field needs to be level. They continue to quote him. When did Royal Caribbean Cruise Line apply for Bahamian Crown land? What lease are they referring to when they claim they have a Bahamian Crown land leased? So, Toby is still continuing with his push to be given a fair shake as it relates to that project. Now, as it relates to his opinion or his, statement that Bahamians need to be given a level playing field when it comes to these investments, there is some word floating around that another cruise line is looking to acquire some beachfront property in the Western District for which it can use for its guests. And I'm speaking specifically of the property that was the Bahamas Development Bank on Goodman's Bay. There is a little sip that I believe it's Carnival Cruise Lines, I believe. I'm trying to search through my information to make sure that that is correct. That is buying that piece of property for development for its own private little shindig, its own private little attraction for its own guests. And there are some who are asking, why is it that we seem to roll out the red carpet when it comes to foreign investors, especially in tourism and the hotel business, but yet we don't see the same kind of treatment for Bahamians who wish to go into the business? Okay, I found the information. It says that allegedly Carnival Cruise Lines is trying to acquire the old gaming board and the Bahamas Development Bank sites at Goodman's Bay to make a private beach club for their cruise passengers. If this is in fact true, then this really lends credence to the argument of why we are allowing these entities to really take the last bits of access to beaches that Bahamians have to create these attractions for their guests and only in exchange throw us out a couple of jobs here and there. Where's the real opportunity for Bahamians? I also got information about two Germans buying Rose Island for their own private development and allegedly already laying fence poles to fence it off so that Bahamians won't have access to Rose Island. It seems that this is a trend that is developing in our country. And we got to figure out what we want to be, I would think. Because there's a reason, I believe, why all of these cruise lines are buying out their own islands and their own piece of an island. And I mean, clearly that experience adds value to their offerings to their customers. Are they doing this because they just don't want to share with the people of this country any of the profits derived from these operations? Or are they doing this because they feel that it is necessary to create an environment in which their guests can have a good experience in the Bahamas, because we have allowed the experience, say, in the main port area to deteriorate such that many of their people don't even come off the ships? Or is it a combination of both? Has our product deteriorated that badly that these cruise liners now believe that the only way for them to provide value for their customers when they stop in the Bahamas is to have their own spot? Is that what's happening here? And I ask the question again, why are we selling land to foreigners in this country? Why aren't we leasing, long-term leasing? Who sells their land? I mean, it ain't like they making any more of it. Yeah, Dubai, they created some islands. But I understand they're having some structural challenges with those islands that they created. They ain't making this product no more called Your Land. Why are we selling it off to the degree where Bahamians are less and less having access to the beautiful beaches that God bless this nation with? Because we have chosen to sell them all out to private investors. Just, questions I'm asking. I have a message coming in on WhatsApp. It says, let me see, is that the right one? Okay, the person deleted the message. Yeah, the person deleted the message. The telephone numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, or the WhatsApp line for text messages and calls 801-0271, 801-0271. We have another message coming through. It says, in life, some people want to dictate to you, but they think that it's below their dignity for others to question what they're telling you. Therefore, I'd rather have my questions answered from them, because at least I'm seeking the truth or clarity, than for them to dictate to me without permission for me to ask them about what they are telling me. This is bigotry and arrogance. I see, that's that person just resending the message without all the typos. So we have some comments on Facebook. Jillian says, if the cruise owner feels this way, maybe it's time for them not to visit. Is that the answer, Jillian? Really? Is that the answer? And I'm not saying that's how they feel. I'm just asking questions. I could be totally off with that. Matthew says, but Bahamians can't get none. Back in the day, we used to be the leader of tourism in this region. Matter of fact, the rest of the region learned from us how to do tourism. But we have allowed our product to deteriorate such that we are no longer the leaders in terms of the quality of the experience. We've allowed the rest of the region to not only catch us up, but in some cases pass us. And so we, I think, have to question ourselves in this. And I'm not trying to justify a decision to give any investor the right to purchase out a plot of land, like this ongoing battle with RCI, or this alleged action by Carnival Cruise Lines, alleged, because I'm not sure if that's 100% correct. But how much of a role have we played in allowing our product to deteriorate to the point where they may think that it's necessary to do so? I think we need to ask ourselves this question. Jillian says, I feel so because we have enough hotels, some great ones. Now we've had the hotel experience against the crisis. Now we have the hotel experience against the crisis experience and the latest Disney purchasing land, another trend. I'm just provoking you to think. I'm not saying one way or the other that this is what is actually happening, but I'm just wondering whether or not it has anything to do with our slacking off when it comes to the product that we're offering. Because this product ain't the same what we used to offer back in the day. I can tell you all right now, just in case you all don't know, we used to have a really good product. Somebody says, good day to you. I listen to your show every day. This will be the first time I would have something to say. I attended, I guess you want to say, a fraud conference, and the topic was the best way to steal money is to spend money. Who would then know where the money went? Okay. There was another message that came, and I don't see where it went. Guys, if you're going to send a message, send it on the WhatsApp, okay? Because it's hard to keep track of where the message went if it didn't come through WhatsApp. It's hard to, while you're on the air, trying to keep track of all these different places that you guys may have sent a message. So again, the number is 8010271. That's what, yeah. See, this person sent it to as a text as opposed to WhatsApp. It says, Michelle, you are so on point. All land should be contributed to future projects, and the value of that land would be our equity stake. Our product didn't deteriorate, but our people have deteriorated. That's a sobering thought because investors will have to envision properties that are exclusive of the Bahamian reality. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to wrap things up. Stay with us. This is GPS.
Global paradigm shift.
Blood sugar levels play a key role in your appetite, weight gain, and overall health. When you have a blood sugar spike, you can feel confused, dizzy, and even have increased cravings. Eating carbohydrates, sugary or fatty foods, and not exercising can all cause blood sugar spikes. But now you have help in managing blood sugar levels. Sweeties by Longevity was designed to help support healthy blood sugar levels so you can power through your day. It's a synergistic blend of minerals, herbs, and nutrients that have been proven to support healthy blood sugar levels. Sweeties includes chromium, an essential trace mineral that's known for its contribution to healthy blood sugar levels and improved metabolism of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Cinnamon bark has been included for its naturally occurring antioxidants and support of a healthy heart. And we've even added gymnema. It's been used in Ayurveda for centuries to help promote healthy blood sugar. All the ingredients in Sweeties work together to give the best support available for blood sugar control. Sweeties, the blood sugar support supplement from Longevity that helps control cravings and manage blood sugar levels through your day. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Track Life, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
As you age, factors like health, weight, diet, and lifestyle can all impact your bones, joints, and general mobility. Even everyday exercise can lead to wear and tear on your body. Over time, you might start to experience stiffness or pain due to damaged joints or connective tissue. Ultimate Glucogel by Longevity was created to help you limit the effects of wear on your joints. It delivers a daily dose of collagen-rich gelatin your body needs for joint elasticity and maintenance. Ultimate Glucogel contains a 1-to-1 ratio of gelatin and glucosamine sulfate, which is a key building block of your bone matrix, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, and connective tissue. Gelatin's unique blend of amino acids not only help with muscle and joint health, but also has been shown to provide additional benefits for the brain, skin, and hair. Ultimate Glucogel. Natural, optimal daily support for joint health. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
And welcome back as we bring to a close in another 4 minutes this edition of TGIF Open Line. If that's a caller, you better get it in quickly. In the meantime, I have a couple of comments on Facebook. Miko says Bahamians have been excluded from the Bahamian brand in tourism. If Bahamians were given fair opportunity to own cruise lines, resorts, and other entertainment venues, that is inclusive to tourists and locals. And Perline says, Michelle, is the government listening to the people? Who's really running our country, the Bahamas? And we have a message saying, Miko says there would be less dependence on foreign investment. We do have quite a few Bahamians here who have the finances to actually be able to invest in these tourism products. But there must be some kind of perception as to why I think more of them have not taken advantage of it. Is it that it is that difficult to be profitable in the hotel industry or the resort industry? Or is it that they feel that they will not get equal treatment as to what our foreigners are getting? These are questions that we need to answer because it's not like we don't have the money here to do it. We definitely have the money here to do it. So why are we seeing so much of our land being swapped, grabbed by the foreigners, the foreign investors? And why are we not leasing to these people as opposed to selling our land? Matthew says, of these foreign-owned hotels, bring more Bahamian-owned assets, which I know they can own and manage. Eldridge says, personally, I feel it's time to advance from tourism being our number one industry and focus on something else. Eldridge, I think we could definitely and should definitely diversify the economy, but I don't think we need to throw tourism out the window. You don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. But that's not to say that we can't welcome other industries as well, so that in case something does go wrong with tourism, which is fickle in that, something happens internationally, it could shut down your tourism product. Case in point, COVID-19 pandemic, where pretty much everything shut down. But there have been other instances that have affected us that had nothing to do with us. But still, you may not be old enough to remember, but I remember 9/11 when the then president decided that no flights were going to go in and out of the U.S. And that impacted us greatly while we waited for that to be lifted, because most of our tourists come from the United States. So anyway, food for thought. I want you guys to use some time to think about these things. But in the meantime, I getting out of here. How Saturday reach your radio? Tomorrow's Saturday. You might as well say Saturday on here, because it's already 4 o'clock on a Friday. And before you blink, it'll be Saturday. I feel like Saturday just was the day before yesterday. Is it that the older that you get, the faster time goes? Is that what it is? Anyhow, 4 o'clock. I'm out. Have a good weekend, everybody, and I'll see you guys next week. Take care.
Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions